Hello, everybody. Welcome. Happy Friday, or whatever you're watching this. Happy December, or whatever month you're watching this. Um, uh, I'm Peter Vaughan from Cardboard Alchemy. This is our regular weekly chat, cardboard chat with a publisher. In case you want to talk about any part of making games, playing games, publishing games, Kickstarter games. Hey, Tim, how's it going? Hello, Ellie. It's awesome to see you. Patrick, nice. Happy Friday, everybody. This is a part of our widely unscripted chats because we just finished a Kickstarter. Hello, Axel. We just finished Critter Kitchen funding on Kickstarter. So as of right now, and also I'm Sans Rosie, our teammate who is currently still on vacation. So it's like, this is 3 minutes late. I know, because Rosie's not here, right? This is like I said, this is a little bit unscripted still because it's the end of the year and we are still wrapping things up and we've got a lot to do. And I promise that I will get a organized set of announcements and reveals and component things to talk about. But right now we're still just flying by the seat of our pants. Except for, I will say, I have a planned stream for next week, which is on Friday, December 8th. Do not miss the readathon, or whatever it is. It's going to be, I'm going to read letters that have been sent into Cardboard Alchemy. Hello, Stephanie. We are building up a serious number of letters to the studio, which I asked for. I did ask for it, and I'm so excited by what's happened, which is that the community has responded with letters which are definitely eclipsing the number of boring pieces of mail that we're getting at Cardboard Alchemy, to the tune of, I think we're over 150 letters. And I've been busily writing. So I'm writing a reply to everybody. So if you have written a letter and you have not heard anything yet, that is because I am slow. And that's okay. I have enjoyed immensely these letters, and I cannot wait to read a bunch of them to everybody. So next week on our Friday stream, I'm going to dedicate the entire stream to just reading some awesome letters from the community. I've been blown away by the number of people who have shared something personal or done something, given insight, not even that it was required to send anything bonus, but people have knitted things, and drawn things, and gifted things, and shared stories, and stickered their envelopes, drawn, like I said, drawn pictures. 150, and I'm still getting letters every day. So the whole team has said maybe we should turn off the letters, but we're not turning off the letters because I still don't want to get boring pieces of mail. I mean, I think it's gonna naturally tone down, because what this push was for getting a Stuff the Magic Dragon shop. That is why everyone's writing. That is what we're going to send everybody who's written a letter. Also available in our online shop that you can order, but it's sometimes more fun to write a letter. And I think that once we're done with that, we probably will not get any letters anymore, but you're always welcome to write Cardboard Alchemy and we will respond. Oh, that's nice. Got this comment. Take all the time you need. My kiddo will want to keep your letter for memento, so it's worth the wait. That's sweet. That letter that was sent in by her kiddo had stickers all over the envelope, and it's amazing. So I also, it's a lot of people in this chat who have sent one. I mean, there's Lustrosaurus sent some snacks from Scotland. So, I mean, it's touching. And I met Ellie in person, and she handed her letter. And spoiler, her letter had a gift for every single dragon artisan type. So, I mean, it's really special. Every single one of these letters has been special. Hey, Manny, how's it going? So that's going to be that show. That is, we'll have Rosie back. We'll do all sorts of fun like I said, it's readathon. I had a really fun moment. I will shout out a member of our team, Judy, whose birthday it is today, Happy birthday, Judy, if you're watching. I hope you're not working or anything. I hope you're taking the day. But just in case you're watching, happy birthday to you. We really appreciate you on the team. Judy, so that everyone knows, Judy handles all of the customer service emails. So every single Fresh Desk or other customer service or Kickstarter message or wall message just goes through our team, but mostly Judy, who answers them all. And Judy's been out here in California and has visited the studio and has been writing, helped me write on every letter, and has been helping me write these letters, which is really nice of Judy to do that. Anyway, so I was reading some of the letters out loud, and there's a letter. I don't know if this letter is going to be read on the air or not, but I'll just tell you a funny story. So I'm reading the letters, and there's this one that is written in, a lot of them are completely in character, which I love, and different takes on being in character. And this particular one was telling a story of the shop, Stuff the Magic Dragon, and the shopkeeper that worked there. And there was a young woman that came into the shop and was shopping for things, and the shopkeeper was having a conversation with that person. I mean, it's a whole story, right? And I was reading them out loud, and Judy was in the other room, and I was reading. And I said, I'm not going to do the voices. I'm not going to do the voices. And all of a sudden, I just started going into the character. And that cracked us both up. So I thought I couldn't stop laughing. And I was recording that one for Sendara, so it just went off the rails. That was a really fun one. But there are so many fun ones. I will tell you another one that I don't know that it's going to be read on the air, but I still am amused. I'm very amused by it. But someone did put together a puzzle, like not a 100-piece puzzle, 50-piece puzzle, but basically they gave me a puzzle, and then they wrote on the back of the puzzle, and then they dismantled the puzzle and put all the pieces in an envelope. So I had to put together the puzzle to read the letter. I was not cursing. But I was like, "You got to be kidding me!" But it was all done in jest. I love reading that the final thing in the letter was, "Since you made us do puzzles, I felt like you should get one." Oh my god, that was hilarious. There's been a lot of creativity. By the way, don't do puzzles. Do not do that. Because, like I said, I'm not reading that one on the air. No, I mean, I appreciate all the creativity of different types. Different types of creativity are fun. I've gotten lots of stickers, different. Oh man, I'll tell you, I don't want to spoil any for next week. But there's some where I've gotten coins of currency of another country. I also have stats for next week on. No, Ellie, do not send a puzzle. There is no Stop the Magic Dragon card that comes. Other than that first puzzle, only the first puzzle counts. You get a card there. No, but someone sent me currency, and I'm gonna have stats about how many letters came from every single country, because we did get, I believe there's 3 from the Netherlands, 1 from Switzerland, 1 from Australia, 1 from Brazil, which is really special because it's very hard to get parcels in and out of Brazil and America. It's wild that we got a letter from Brazil. It's great. Fantastic to see that. And I think I might even show that envelope, because the number of stamps on the Brazil letter are amazing. Just amazing that it made it here. So I think it's awesome. So Ellie asks, have you received any letters in another language? Breaking a Google Translate. No, I got all the letters in English, which is fitting because all of the Stuff the Magic Dragon cards are in English. I can't give promo, sadly, in another language, so I feel like it's all good. Everyone who is getting one understands the English language, which is lucky. But I do appreciate just hearing a lot about different cultures. There's been some people who have told me, this is a tradition, or this city, there's some facts about this city, and it's been amazing to get all that stuff. And also, for the large bulk of the letters, which are from the United States, I will do a breakdown of how many states we had. I think it's fun to see the results of this fun social experiment to get letters. And I will tell you that there was a boring letter in the last batch. We got a letter from the IRS that was almost missed because, but it was not missed, IRS, if you're watching, because of the sheer number of personal letters that were also in the mailbox, which I think is a great ratio of good letters to crap. So I'm really excited by that. We did not get one from every state, but we really got a lot of states. I think we're gonna, when we count it all out, we may be missing Hawaii and Alaska, but I think we got a lot of. I mean, there are a lot of different states represented. Actually, really neat. Source says, "Has any of my package still left? Has any of my package still left?" So glad. There is some because I've been saving. Judy and Brad and I were in the office, so some of it's been taken down. But I will bring some on the stream, and I will share what we've got. Anyway, but this week we're not doing letters. So what we are doing is just doing our usual stream about game playing. Now it's December, so everyone who's in the holiday spirit has been thinking about what they want for presents and whatnot. So I'm sure we've got lists of games that are on your wish list. I want to hear what everybody's like. Top, I want this. I'm hoping this game will be coming. And can't list, obviously, Critter Kitchen or Drama's Edge is there next year. This year's games, Under the Tree, or in the if you're using trees. We got chewed up and sent back. Manny, oh no. By the way, I will say I also got there were. I'm so sorry about the delay in answering. I got Halloween cards, and so I will be saying Happy Halloween to those people who sent me Halloween cards. It's awesome. I think that's so cool. But we had a Kickstarter that sort of went in the middle of all that. Okay, so we've got a wish for backed Canvas, all 3 editions arriving before Christmas. I've never played Canvas. I want to play that one. I actually have missed out on that game. I just recently, while I'm waiting for people to say what they want to get, I will just explain what games just came in the office that I'm anxious to play. So not the same thing as what's on my Christmas list, but I'm just listing some fun games. Is Three Ring Circus, which Brad just bought. So he bought it after playing at BGG, and I want to play it. He also has the Fox Experiment, which he backed, and that, by the way, is made by Pandasaurus, which is Alex Cutler's. He works there as development lead, and is our designer on Critter Kitchen. And I believe he was involved with the Fox Experiment. I'm excited by that one. Also, just recently received in the office is Sweet Mess, which was a game I backed a long time ago. It just arrived. And also Last Light, which I'm excited for. Which is a hot thing right now. Let's see. I only have one thing on my family secret Santa wish list because I really want it, and it's a small solo board game. I cannot pronounce that. It's Coventier. And someone just wrote an anonymous question about my wish list, which is, what is your favorite color? My favorite color is this board game. I mean, Stephanie, I hear you. I think last week I mentioned that I often put board games on my wish list, and then I get other presents, and then I have to act all happy and say, "Oh, that's very nice. Thank you, thank you." That's sad that my game didn't actually. I didn't get the game. My favorite color is cardboard. That is correct. That is the best color. What the food? That would be funny. What the food? Yeah, I guess we. What the food was our prize in OceanCon. We had several prizes. And congratulations for winning What the Food. I don't know. I don't know what the shipment times are, but we'll have to see on What the Food. It'll be a nice surprise when it arrives. But now there's extra pressure on it. Anyway, we'll see what other people are looking for. Because it is a fun time to think about wish lists. I had a double whammy when I was asking for presents around this time. or making my wish list because my birthday's in January, and so I would make this double list that was like, well, if you miss one, I hear you, just parlay that right on to the next. And so I am probably going to have a fun time in my local game store saying happy birthday to me when that happens. We'll see. Oh, that's nice. I've been buying so many games lately that I told everyone I don't want any for Christmas, but I would like some upgrades and storage boxes for Quacks. It's a board game decor. Quacks is so great to get upgrades for because that's a keeper. I am doing a gift exchange, and I have to put a hint. I'm totally using my favorite color. It's cardboard. That's awesome. By the way, I'm actually going to a holiday party where there's a white elephant. And you ever been to the white elephants where some of them are serious and some of them are goofy, and you never know which one you're going to? I think I'm going to a goofy one. So now I need to think of something really good. I mean, here's the trick with a goofy white elephant. You need to get something weird that is actually still good. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it can't be total trash. It can't be like, oh, this is the stupidest thing ever. It has to be sort of like, well, that's odd, and I never wanted it, but I actually kind of want to steal it. Oh, Ellie's got a suggestion. Excellent. I need suggestions because I have had some good ones, but I'm out of ideas at the moment. And the anime says my brother-in-law's birthday is the 24th of December. That makes some extra pressure to add a lot of stuff. That's good. A Boss Chia pet. That is funny. That's hilarious. Let's see. These are great. By the way, I wonder if I should add a second calyx to my Christmas wish list. We all need another calyx. I will say that Grant Lyon, who did a bit on PotionCon, he had a comedy segment. I don't know if anyone caught that, but he was doing his comedy bit, how he's explaining how he has too many games. When he's dating, he has to say, like, how many games do you think it's too many games? And he was in front of an audience that has nothing to do with board games, just a regular comedy audience. And they would, he was asking, what do you think are too many games? And they would shout out numbers. And too many games was like, I don't know, or a lot of games was what he was asking. Not too many, but a lot of games was people were shouting out 12 or 20. And then he was embarrassed, like, okay, well, that's what you think is a lot. I have a lot. It's a really funny bit. And so my whole house is dedicated to, I think if people come over who are gamers, they'll appreciate it. But if they're not, then they think it's weird. But I have basically tried to figure out how many calyxes I could get in every space because, it's just me and my son at the moment. And so my son is dedicating one area to be game central for video games, and I'm saying, okay, the rest is board games. So yeah, I will probably be shopping for more calyxes, but I have plenty. I'm just rearranging them now. I got to figure out my sort technique for this new round of calyx sorting. And we've also got a comment about Java's Edge is going to eat a whole block, which it is going to do, or go on the top. You don't have to eat a block, you put it right on the top. It deserves its own cube. Thank you, Ellie. It does. This is so funny. I think your house would give me choice anxiety. There's a friend of mine who has way more games than I do. So, everything's relative. When I go to his place, it's like a library. Every wall has options. And I do have a hard time picking a game when I go to his place. I am trying to create something. I mean, it's in between that. And I definitely like options because I know that for some of my friends, they don't have a collection. So I end up becoming the person who teaches and shares games with a bunch of people. So I like having the game for any occasion on hand for whatever the case may be. So But sometimes it is choice anxiety. And the way that I solve that is I try and have game nights where this is when I actually could have game nights. I've been too busy making games at the moment. But when I was having game nights, I would theme them and send out the invite for a particular game. This is how I solve it. I'll have a main course decided. Like we are going to play, and let's say back in the day, I would do let's say we're going to do Betrayal, House on the Hill, and there's going to be snacks like themed, and the music is themed, and the game is. We all know what we're going to play. Or these days, if I really want to play, I kind of do want to play Ark Nova right now because I just got the Marine expansion. So I would say we're going to play Ark Nova. That is what we're going to do. Prepare for it's going to be Ark Nova. There is no choice anxiety to be had. You know what you're in for when you get the invite. A game for any occasion, that would be Flamecraft. I mean, right? Daniel says it's going to be a long year waiting for Critter Kitchen. I totally hear you on that. We're going to try and make it a fast time, as fast as possible. We're already working on it, by the way. I shared last week that Sandara has been cranking on the last couple critics and restaurateurs and all the things that were still left over. So she's going as fast as possible. We're already digging into Solo, just so we can get that one all polished. Hey, I made it. It's better late than never. Hello, welcome. And just in time, we're going to switch. I'm going to switch my background now. Let's go to I like to switch it up to. We did restaurants last time, but we did not go to. Let's switch to the red restaurant. Look at this one. Sandara drew this as the captain's cutlery in the kitchen. Anyway, we will continue to answer questions. Actually, I can't put myself over there in the corner because then the questions, that's where they go. So I will move over to the yellow restaurant and we'll continue to go on and chat with people. We're definitely going to bake and frost some sugar cookies. The Critter Kitchen arrives next year for our first play of the game. That's awesome. What a way to celebrate. I think that's going to be fun. Oh yeah, the kitchen inside the red restaurant. I don't have that art ready to go, but it's one of my favorite kitchens. One of the things that Sandara unlocked at the very end of Critter Kitchen is we unlocked individual. So this is the art for the yellow restaurant, but the kitchen for the yellow restaurant was the same as the blue restaurant until the final moments when we hit 777 777. We unlocked all unique 7 player kitchens, which is so neat. So now the yellow one has a window that looks outside in the air, and the red one is in the galley of the ship. The yellow restaurant is Sandara's favorite. She likes it, and was named Sunny Side Up. I believe Lauren on her team suggested that name. I loved it immediately. Yeah, so all the detail that Sandara puts in these things. When she had Sunny Side Up as the name to go by, she started cooking. So yeah, it's going to be fun when Critter Kitchen hits next year. I'm going to hope that we can get it on the early side. We'll have to see how the production goes. I already had a partner reach out. We have on the campaign, we just had English, but we have heard already from different language partners that are going to offer the standard edition. And all of them have asked, if they can get the files ASAP so they can offer it early, before next Christmas. And I said, sure, we have to get the files done, then you can have them. We'll see if we can get everybody the game as fast as possible. Yeah, I love looking at all of Sandara's anthro animal hybrids and guessing what parts came from different animals. That is true. She has a lot of different, especially because I didn't even notice when she, I don't know if I can have the fox with peacock feathers. It's brought up by Ellie as my example as well. I didn't even spot the peacock part of the fox until someone saw it. Let's see if I can I bring up the fox now that we are talking about it? Let's see if I have the fox around here for a second. So eventually I want to have these streams where I've got everything, all art ready to go, but I have to see if we have that. Nope, maybe not. Not immediately. Not immediately available. Almost. Feels like I should. Maybe I do. Let's see what we got here. There we go. There's Ginger the Fox. We'll bring Ginger down a little bit here. So yeah, there's something that Sundara does really well. Is subtle details, and we didn't even catch this one when it first happened. And all the animals are different hybrids of sorts, which is great. Let's move on to let's go to the restaurant. Oh, actually, you know what? I wanted to bring up since we're on different art. Let's go back to here, and I will bring up some additional. Let's see if I can work out some additional art here. Or I might have to save it for another stream when I'm more prepared. But I will share, and also in Kickstarter updates, we'll have some of the latest and greatest art that Sundara is finishing. We need a name for, yeah, people are talking about the, every time Midnight Market, Mysterious Fox Fat Vendor is the one. That's a great character. That actually is a fantastic character. Do I have that one around? Let's see if I do. Let's see if I do. It's such an interesting thing that happened in the what I do. I don't know that I do in a way that because the other thing is that all of these images are CMYK when they're done for print, and so I don't have them necessarily ready for prime time. But let's see if I can get that run ready. That character was a really interesting journey. Cricket didn't necessarily have. See, what was it originally? It was a goat. It was a mole. The molehill. I'm trying to remember now what the designers, Peter, if he was watching, could tell me. When they first pitched the game, they had various different locations, and they always knew one of the locations was going to be a spot where you didn't know what was coming next. I believe it was a molehill. There was a mole there. And we told Sundara like what it was, and she was already getting into the mode of like town and what town was going to look like, and the fact that town had zeppelins, and she was trying to think. We had talked about this concept of a bridge, and yeah. So let me save a copy of this image here. So we talked about a copy. We talked about this bridge that was going to be in the game, and the bridge didn't stay in the game. That's the funny part. Is well, it did sort of stay in the game because you could see a bridge on the cover. See a bridge on the cover. Let's see if I can get this image right here. And so the bridge had been sort of in discussion. Sundara was thinking about it, and then when we said to Sundara that there was a something that didn't you couldn't tell what was going to be sold until that moment, sort of like this trader that was in the darkness, or we were all trying to figure it out, and then she drew a character under the bridge. She drew this fox character, this mysterious. Let me put him up here. Add him to our chat. So let's put up this. Whoops, sorry about that. Too many things on the fly. Let's put up this character. And load up the merchants. There we go. So this is the scene, by the way. This is the scene that Sundara came up with for this merchant that had different stuff. He didn't know if it was good stuff. He didn't know if it was bad stuff. We didn't even tell her to. She just drew these hooded characters. We don't know what those are. This is one of the most curious locations in Critter Kitchen. And what was really funny at the time was, and I don't think anyone commented about this on the campaign, but There's a if you look right above my name on the stream right now, there's a character. There's a green veg. It's got a face. Like what? um, what is that? There's a curious box of mushrooms and whatnot. The other thing that I really like about this one is that there is there's Cardboard Alchemy's potion bottle is a Easter egg in this shot as well. So the Midnight Merchant apparently deals in also all manners of potions. So that is one of the neatest things when you have, so Sidar's got the, like someone pointed out, the mice possibly with moth wings. You can see the moth wings on those little characters. There's all these little details that are always in these pieces of art that we're so lucky to have this kind of art in our games. Let me take that down. Okay, let's go back to the green restaurant and chat. Anyway, so it's always fun poring over all the pieces of art. For example, while we're talking, I can get another character perhaps. Let's say we're talking about the Midnight Merchant. I don't like him being a bad guy. Let's just say the workers of the Midnight Market ran off and did their own thing. Yeah, they're just they just operate a little outside the law. We don't actually know what's going on there. Maybe that someday the Midnight Merchant faction's got to make it into a drama's edge because whatever's happening, it's pretty great. Yeah, I can't imagine a merchant under bridge is keeping the proper food handling standards. We don't ask those kind of questions because in the game, Critter Kitchen, you are a sous chef trying to get the best ingredients from wherever you can get. If it's the freshest fish, it's the freshest fish. If you don't ask questions, you serve up the most amazing things. You gotta do what you gotta do. What if Midnight is the merchant's name? Yeah, I mean, it could be. We also had fun naming some of these things. Midnight Merchant was named by the community. We also we were toying with names like Red's Totally Legitimate Business. So it was a lot of fun, and we appreciate everyone's help doing the names of these. And all of the support for this world that we're building, because it's fun. Right now, there's the thing we didn't get a chance to name, which would have been neat, is to name all of the different mice, lizards, and boar that work at the kitchens. Maybe I'll post those when we're doing sort of the monthly updates on Critter Kitchen, because we didn't want to reveal those when we weren't sure if there was going to be unique boards. So we didn't really have any kind of naming of mouse, lizard, and boar. But now there's a mouse, lizard, and boar that works at every restaurant. I mean, the green restaurant has a mouse, lizard, and boar. Oh, Sonara actually I don't know if you guys saw this on the campaign. Let's go to the orange restaurant for a second. On the campaign, the orange kitchen was not finished in time because there were so many things to do. And it was probably eating away at Sadara, I'm sure. But she recently just finished the orange kitchen. Let me see if I can show everybody, because this will be fun to see the orange kitchen get its final look here. Let me bring this up, because it would be fun to kitchen as well. So let me flatten this one. Like I said, these are all in CMYK to start, because that's what we print in. But just to show here on the screen, I got to get it in RGB. So one moment. So save the copy of the orange kitchen. Orange kitchen. This is on the fly art. That's what we got to do here. I will be more prepared when we have future streams, I hope. I say that, hoping that I am able to do these. I love coming on and doing these streams, so thank you for bearing with me. Let's get some orange kitchen art up here. This makes for amazing YouTube when you spend time just bringing stuff up. But I don't care. We're having fun. Orange Kitchen. Boom. Now let me just bring this down here and size it up. So we can look at the kitchen. Look at that. Sandara is a wizard. Sorceress. It's amazing. It's just so great. I love the characters in this one. And this is right. You can see the tie into the restaurant. They're cooking at so many different spices and things going on. Let's see. Let's get the sign here. And all that stuff going on here. It's so great. The mouse has got a lot of choices there of what to cook with. It's so good. We have an art-related question. Let's go to questions if you have them while we're continuing this stream of randomness. Obviously, in Flamecraft, the card info is obscured a bit of the artwork under it. Is that bit avoided with Critter Kitchen? Actually, it's interesting. Sandara's got to work with our UI constraints, and she actually builds the art for that reason. So you're not missing too much in Flamecraft. She knew where the UI was going to be. She knew where Manny was going to put the 3 different things. So what she tried to do actually strategically is tuck little pieces of that art in those crevices of where the Flamecraft UI. And here she knows that there's going to be this slanted bar that comes down the top. Actually, the bore, interesting side note, the bore on each kitchen board always intersects with that line and then goes in front of that line. And so what she's deliberately done is put the least detail in that part of the kitchen here. And so that's something that she does. Even though there is still art there, it's just to continue, it's just for bleed reasons as we print the board, you're going to get the whole rest of the Critter Kitchen here. And then for the locations, what's happened is we've got the UI that's sort of the mouse, a lizard, and the boar will be in the upper part of the UI there, and she's deliberately fading the art up. So it's like if the air docs has sky, you're not getting anything but clouds that we wouldn't have drawn anyway. So it's very much a back and forth process with the art, the graphic design, and the design of the game, because whatever is important, whatever is key, gameplay is this might be sacrilegious in, say, our very art-focused games, but gameplay is the most important thing and always will dictate what everything else has to do. I say that, and a lot of people will look at our kitchen boards and say, well, clearly you don't need this much art, so you can scrap all that art and then just get right to the gameplay, which is just 3 cards. But, of course, we're not going to stand for that either. We're, of course, combining art and gameplay in a fantastic experience. So we're standing by both. Why not both? But that being said, we always work back and forth. So, for example, the solo board is going to have consideration of what exactly has to go, what pieces of information have to go on that board, and then from there, the art will be determined. So, the board likes to turn things on fire. Well, you gotta cook with gusto. Anyway, it's a fun process. I will say, I could go. I mean, this is fun to talk about it on Critter Kitchen and Flamecraft and with Sandara, but also Sergio. The process of creating art with Sergio has been amazing. We actually recently were fixing up the moons on Andromeda's Edge, and such an interesting process to dig into Sergio's layers because he had to change a little bit based on we got the moons back, the wooden tokens came back in from the plants, and there was some readability issues with like one of the colors and another one of the colors, and we had to dig back in and sort of decide what is the most important thing. And then the plant came back. This is a fascinating part of the whole process is, so when we were making the wooden tokens for Andromeda's Edge, the plant said, and this is the same plant that I worked with on Dwellings of Eldervale, and they made the treasure tokens. And they said something to me. They said, well, the treasure tokens were very difficult because you gave us a full piece of art on the front and a full piece of art on the back of the token. And when you do that, we can't line the tokens up correctly in the machine. And they said, so for Andromeda's Edge, we would love it if you would give us one side of the token is complete art, and the other side of the token is faded into no art. And I posed that to Sergio, and we tried to do that, but we didn't like the result. We actually, the moons came back, and the sliver of art that was there, it wasn't functional enough, because what was happening is that if a token is upside down on the table, I want to know immediately that that token is a science token or is a commerce token or is a civ token. I don't want to guess. And even though it seems like a stupid thing, even taking 2 seconds, even taking a moment to have to flip that token over means more setup and tear down delay. So we went back to the plant and said, we're going to have to push for art like we wanted. And then we went back to Sergio because some of the art was blown out the wrong color. And so there's a whole thing with Andromeda's Edge moons, by the way, that I've been working on for the last week. Just reset the moons again. Hopefully this time is the charm. So excited to see the final art for Andromeda's Edge. I love that enthusiasm. Can't wait either. I should actually, in future streams, I'll have to get a blend of Andromeda's Edge art in here because I love looking at that art as well. Actually, it's right behind me, Sergio's work. I'll switch over to my main video here because, I mean, Sergio's stuff is gorgeous. Just as fun as working with Sandara. Any collaboration is great on a game because if the artist is worth their salt, which the ones we work with are, they will often look at the game and what is needed. Especially when you talk about UI, we were just talking about the kitchen UI. Sergio had to think about like what. Oh, we gave him such a challenge on Andromeda's Edge. It was, hey, can you paint this nebula? But also, all the top of the nebula has got to be functional like a track, and the bottom part of the nebula has got to be divided into hexes, and the hexes have to be, you can't have this in the hex, and it has to be functional like that. And please indicate in this part of the nebula that it's, like an extra piece could go here. And I'm sure he was looking at that assignment like, okay, so sure, I'll do that for you. Such a talented group. Why not give us a taste of Flamebound art? What? Spoil the? I mean, these are behind the scenes, but they're not that behind the scenes, I suppose. We have to. Well, you have to be patient on the Flamebound part. We gotta. I actually just started talking to Sandara about how much Flamebound art is already in the works. I'm excited once we start being able to share that with everybody. We will probably have for those who are loyal in our Discord, we'll probably have early tests of the game where you will see sneak peeks. Although what's interesting about Flamebound is it's going to be the kind of game that comes in, not chapters. Well, I don't know exactly what we're calling each story book section. Chapter. I don't know. But we're gonna have to be really careful not to spoil like everything. It's not a legacy game, so we don't have to worry about anyone seeing something that's like integral to mechanical parts. But we also don't want to spoil the fun of seeing subsequent chapters. So we're probably going to test a lot of mechanisms with the first book. We've been doing a lot of tests, and we're going to continue to do a lot of tests until we get the game in a place where we're ready to do those public tests, which is really great because in 2024 we're going to see probably our Discord full of Flamebound testing, and also when Critter Kitchen when Critter Kitchen's wording on all the cards gets there, we want to do a lot of 6 to 7 player tests on TTS with our Discord. I hope you'll be there for that. We'll also have another round of Andromeda's Edge testing as we finish the final rule books. I hope we'll see whether or not there's any confusion on those things. So, it's going to be an exciting time next year. Not to mention, I mean, I'm not positive when Whisperwood testing will begin. Although right now, I will tell you that Chris and Brad are playing Whisperwood right now. I'm a little jealous myself of that because I'm like, ooh, I want to play Whisperwood, but we got to get it. We got to get it all figured out so that Whisperwood can come into play as well. Part of the it's been an interesting time post-pandemic doing game testing. I don't know if any other publishers turn into the stream, and so I'd be curious somebody to talk to other publishers about what they're doing. But it used to be when I was running the Breaking Games development division, I had an office, and for 4 years I brought in playtesters. There wasn't a lot of digital testing. We put the games on the tables. We put Dwellings on the table every day, and these days it doesn't. It seems. I want to say like it seems different because the thing is that in TTS you can get so much faster iteration, and you can get playtesters around the world, and you can get much quicker. There's no teardown. I mean, there's no teardown or setup, right? You get into the game. Oh, look at that card's not working. Let's change that asset, get that right back in, test it again. It just seems faster. But there's a trap to doing all digital testing, which is I think you can miss the physical representation of the game on the table if you don't see it. You got to see it for yourself. Particularly, this is an example I may have used before or not, but Flamecraft, when we first started testing it, we kept track of everyone's points by coins because on TTS you do not have a limit. There isn't a tangible difference between a pile of coins and a scoreboard because you can hover over a pile of coins and see that somebody has 32 coins or something, whatever they have. But when we saw it on the table, we immediately realized no one wants to look over and count. Or you have 32 points over there. So at that moment is when we went back to Sandara on Flamecraft and said, can you change that town illustration to have a score track? Which I'm sure that day she was like, what? This is where gameplay always is the most important thing and comes in there. She made a very cute track, mind you. There's little stones and there's little hearts in there that Manny got in there, and that Sandara drew. It became a really cute thing and it worked out. But it was this whole tangible thing that you have to do when you're playing testing games. Because if we just looked at it digitally, we never would have noticed that it's a pain in the butt to count the tokens. And then physically, though, we were like, oh, this isn't going to work. Also, yeah, Celestial Sword points out games can also play so much faster when you see the physical components. TTS also, Tabletop Simulator and Tabletopia and Board Game Arena, all the other things out there, they also distort time. You have no idea if someone's taking all this time on their turn, if that's real time or not real time, because sometimes clicking a mouse to drag a thing out of a bucket and moving it over and then like depositing it to pay for a thing, it takes forever. And then in real play, that would be like, I just do that really quickly. That's nothing. But there's advantages, not as Anime points out, the setup and no pack away is fantastic. I mean, honestly, there are some games you frankly just love that. So there's a lot of fun playtesting ahead. Also, I think that in 2024, our Discord server should also be, I hope, another source of really good, just playing lots of different games. For example, I've just mentioned the ones that I got. Last Light and some other ones, but I love playing games on Board Game Arena. I hope that we get to play some games in the server. Ellie, who's in this chat, had once started a online games day. Well, actually, it was originally on Thursdays, and now it's whenever anybody wants one. But it's also kind of been a busy year for Cardboard Alchemy with 2 games launching, and so when we get those games to print, hopefully we can also settle down and play some more games on the server. Particularly also, I would love to play some more Dwellings online because Luke, the Breaking Games team is itching to make some expansions happen. And so I want to dive into those. Gonna like play some more dwellings, and of course, it's friend Andromeda's Edge, like I mentioned. There's 2 games in 1 year. Yeah, Celestial Star. It's been nuts this year. And I will tell you, because this is our friendly stream where you get to find out what it's like, whether you asked or not. As a board game publisher, I nearly killed myself over Andromeda's Edge. I'm not saying that to get any sympathy or whatever. I mean, I did things that I should not have done, but I pushed myself. We lost a graphic design. We had I don't know if I ever told the story, but we didn't have we had a graphic designer that bailed on us in the fall of 22. We tried to get another graphic designer, and then we did it. It was during the holiday season, and we couldn't get a graphic designer to commit to the hours that we needed. And with nobody else to help me, I worked through the night over every night. I'm not advising anyone to do this, but sometimes when you want something so bad, and I didn't want to delay this date, I worked insane hours to get Andromeda's Edge going, and so did our team. Our whole team did as much as they could. I remember one night when the graphic design team that we had asked to help us were like, "We're out of time. It's the holidays. Can't do anymore." And I remember Lauren saying, "Like, I will stay up with you all night. Whatever we need to do." We did so many crazy things to get Andromeda's Edge. And at the end of Andromeda's Edge, it was an amazing campaign. Thank you for joining us if you did. I'm so blown away by the support for that game. I'm so excited that we're making Andromeda's Edge. It was worth it. However, I collapsed at the end of that thing, and I said to Brad, I don't think I can do another one this year. And we talked about it. We pros and cons of doing another one this year, and I know the timeline. Well, at our small company, I will tell you that we are trying to grow, and we're trying to make more games faster because we want to make a lot of games. We want to make Flamebound, want to make Whisperwood. There are ones after that are in the queue. And I said, well, we got to make these things faster. And also, and this is nothing against the designers of Critter Kitchen, they made a very smart play, but they said that there was a timeline to produce Critter Kitchen. It must be done by X point, or the game went back to the designers. That's standard in some contracts, or sometimes it can be, to put time limits for the good of the publisher and the good of the designer. And so there was a time limit on Critter Kitchen, and the time limit, it wasn't by this year, but it was that we needed to either make it or let it go. And so we pushed really hard in 2023. And I will say that not a single month in 2023 has felt, I'm sure my team will say this too when we digest the year, not a single month has felt like it wasn't a crunch. And I know that I hear stories of video game companies, and crunch is not a good thing, by the way. If you've ever attended any PAX and gone to a panel, and crunch is not what you ultimately want to exist in. And I don't think it's necessary either, but you got to do what you got to do. And one of the things that's challenging about a board game company, at least our board game company that I'm still working around and trying to figure out, is our artists are in different time zones. Our employees are in different time zones. Our vendors, our our partners are in different time zones. And I know this because I worked at an animation company called Maji, and then Maji had a Hong Kong-based head company and a animation division that was in Los Angeles. And what I learned at that company was, if you do what we could do around here is we could say, Sandara has a question at 11 p.m. our time. We could just the next day answer her and say, well, actually, I think that if you put the bar a little bit like this, or the bar will be, this many millimeters off the top of the boar's head, please, adjust this. She could come back the next day and say, okay, wait, but I thought you said this. And then, well, let's say she did that at 11 o'clock the next night. And then we answered it the next day. I don't know if anyone can see that pattern, but what you would do is you would essentially lose 24 hours. You would lose time. Now, I'm not saying that like we couldn't do that model, but I'm saying that I didn't want Flamecraft to come out in 2 years. I wanted Flamecraft to come out in 1 year. And that was really important because we have a lot more games to make. And so for Andromeda's Edge, just the way that it was slotted and everything was, we were ready to go. We were ready to go. Sergio was ready to go. He was moving on to something else. We had to go. It was its time, and I had to get it done. And so it's had some consequences that I have not ever talked about on these kind of streams. Not just consequences to my health or sanity or whatever. Not like we won't go down there, but like just also dealing with a game that didn't have a graphic design, a consistent graphic design lead during its creation has had very interesting. We've had to redo and rethink the game from a lot of UI perspectives because it just didn't have that. Things could always be worse. You could be Asmodee. Wow, that is a tough. Sorry, Asmodee, if you're watching. No, but it's funny. As we grow bigger, we have to figure these things out. We have to think about how many games can we pull off a year? How many games are possible with our team? And also, when you think about our team, let's say I have hired. This is way too much for a chat, so sorry for anyone. I'm deep diving now. But like if I hire someone and they say, great, I would love to work with you. And I say, oh, are you willing to be up these hours to talk to Rosie and these hours to talk to Sandara and these hours? It's not like I would do it because I'm all in. This is company I started with Brad. So I'm all in. But I can ask other people to do that. And so we have to come up with workflow things. It's very interesting having an all international business for a board game company. And even if I wasn't working with Sandara, if you're like, oh, that's just a curiosity of the fact that we have an artist in Singapore, it actually is part and parcel with the fact that we are making games in China. I literally get pinged at 7 p.m. during my dinner with China's online. They're like, hey, I got questions about those moons that you just sent in. I'm like, okay, I could either not answer you and go, hey, it's my dinner time, beat it. Or I could say, all right, I'll answer that question because I want to see the moons get created. I don't want to delay. Hey Splat, who says I finally made a live stream. Well, it's live. That's because I'm just going to keep talking at all hours until everyone can catch one of these. But we welcome you to the stream. I've got a rambling today about board game process. As we were talking, we got on the tangent that there were 2 games that Cardboard Alchemy crowdfunded this year, which means that there are going to be 2 games that Cardboard Alchemy delivers next year. And boy, I tell you, I can't even. The stream has been largely front end. It hasn't even really gone into the back end of creating files. But I will tell you that I had a vendor say to me, I am out for all of December, and I hope you weren't counting on me. I mean, like I told you I was going to go on vacation, and I was like, oh no, I need something from that vendor. So I have to go get another person to do renders of it's something else. But it's the best job. I'm not sorry for it at all. It's fantastic. It's just one of the things about crowdfunding is, and I've told this analogy before, but Jamie Segerer once called it like you're baking cookies in an oven with everybody, like watching you mix the thing and watching it go in the oven. So when you're crowdfunding, you can't necessarily go like, well, we hit a snag over here and I'm trying to solve it. Hold on a second. Like there's fire. Hold on. I will figure that out. But also trying to present that we are doing fine because it's always fine. We're always fine. It's making board games, right? So it's all good. And thank you for everyone who notices. It's a lot of hard work, and I definitely see you supporting us when we have questions on Facebook and Discord. You are most welcome. Our entire team is here for everyone. I will say that I was handwriting letters, and it was going into the night, and I said I could just not write these. I could just cut, because if someone looked at the whole situation and said, "Well, let me analyze what you should cut out," they'd be like, "Why are you writing personal letters?" But you know what? That's what we do here. And thank you everybody for the full support. Of the insanity. We will have a lot of fun and make a lot of great games with the community. So appreciate it. I can't wait for all the things. We've got so many exciting things to talk about. I've got games we haven't even mentioned, but hey, we've got to get through the ones this is what we got to get. We got to get more help and more systems in place because we've got games to make. Couldn't track my card on its way to you all. Hope it all arrived in one piece. I don't think I've seen yours yet, but I am still getting letters every day, so I appreciate that you've sent something in. Get a little sleep? I did have sleep. We had a Thanksgiving holiday. I spent that holiday cooking up a storm and having time with family, and I've been sort of slow to get back in, but I will tell you that the emails are fast and furious right now over the Flamecraft pieces that are shipping, and so we got to get everyone their plush, their potion dragons, their crystal dragons, their new coins, their new dragons, new jumbo wood, new Stuff the Magic Dragon promo shops, either by letter or by shop or by store. I hear you, Emerson. Like, oh, my wallet can only take so much. Don't worry, we're going to take a slight break for a moment while we produce the things that everyone has been so kindly waiting for. And then you may want to hide your wallet when we show you the next one. Looking forward to getting the on the way notification. I hear you. I hope that every fulfillment center that we use does offer the on the way notification. I believe everyone should get an email. I will tell everyone, if you've waited this long in the stream and you're wondering, the way the status of things is that all the plush arrived in all the fulfillment centers. So plush are, any order that had plush should be gone out. Hopefully has gone out. And then the coins and the dragons and the wooden items have arrived in our UK hub, have not arrived in our US hub, but are almost there. So any order that has we do believe that they're going to be there any day now, but there is trains and trucks and unpacking and unpalletizing involved. But we have fulfillment centers standing by, ready to go. I know the UK is on top of it with speedier boats this time. So awesome job. And Spiral has been on the case already. Spiral Galaxy has been supporting us, I think, the entire time we've been a company. So we really appreciate them. And Rosie's been busy. Yes, Rosie is currently off this week, but it's been a serious trooper. Came in, I believe her first day was in August. So when you consider August, September, October, and November, hit the ground running and has been an amazing team member here. My order says still waiting for details, but I try to be patient. Everyone, it's good plan. They are coming. When you look back at these, when I hope everyone enjoys these coins. These coins took, I know it looks like we just made them. They took a year and a half. This is like seriously me thinking a year and a half ago. Our whole team was going, all right, what are we going to do? We need to figure out. Deluxe was supposed to be limited, and how can we make a deluxe thing and help all of the people who are loving Flamecraft, who are buying it from their local store or buying it from Barnes & Noble, and they don't have the coins. And they want the coins, and they email us every day for the coins. And if that as you, we definitely appreciate you and understand and have heard you. And so a year and a half ago, I was like, okay, we got to figure this out. And Sandara at the time said, well, what could I sketch? I already sketched the coin that we wanted to make, or the the original coin. So it's got to be something different. And then she came up with the idea of doing new. I don't know if anyone's seen I haven't really shown them maybe in this stream, and I don't have one lying around. But the coins now are all different dragon heads with a Flamecraft crest on the back. And it's such a cool idea. But it took a while because Sandara had to go show those coins to Eric, who is our modeler. Eric is in Colombia, used to be in Peru, and it's a good friend. He also helps Thundergriff Games. And Eric has been helping me model for years. So shout out to Eric, who's also a dragon in the Companions of Flamecraft. So Eric made the coins, and then we went to E-Star, who's our manufacturer for Flamecraft, and we showed them the coins, and the first draft of the coins they made, they didn't come out right, and they had to look as good as the last coins, and this whole coins went back and forth. And that was just the coins. The minis took another whole journey, and so they took such a long time to make, and then they come out, and it's party time. Now is the moment that they're coming out. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to see new miniatures being painted, new miniatures shown on game boards, on Flamecraft boards, just so we can see them in action. That's gonna be so cute. Because right now in the office, poor Hot Dog, because I do have one. Hot Dog's he hasn't been in a game yet. Hot Dog wants to join a game. Of course, there is Hot Dog, the character in the game, just as there is Loaf. But man, these my personal set of these that I've approved has not seen action. They need to get in the game. And this reminds me these guys came out, the Red Dragons came out the wrong color. The first run that E-Star did, they all came out the wrong color. And I saw the first sample, and I was like, "What's up with the color?" And then E-Star said, "Well, our line manager, who was in charge of the colors, decided that it was a better color that they wanted to." Like, I was like, "What?" So this whole thing happened. We had to delay. That's why the minis are coming this close to the wire, everybody, because they take a long time to make, and there's a lot of things that can happen. They were burnt. Yeah, the Bread Dragons. They left it in a little bit long. And this set of minis is just the beginning. I say that it's not the beginning because we've seen Series 1. This is Series 2, but in Flamebound you will see a Series 3 set of dragons. Because of course we got to go to Adventuring Gear for the next set. But this is our props set, which I really am excited to see, like Starburst. One of Sandara's favorite characters. And Eric had a lot of fun time making these. Eric wants to make giant ones, so we'll have to see if someday he can get his wish. He's ready to make huge versions of these things. This is mulch. I don't know if we can get the little snail in there. It's so cute. Love the dragons. Look at this comment. The BG41 group on Facebook recently asked what game's production blew us away when he opened it and why. My answer was Flamecraft for everything in the box. Thank you for saying that. In a way, we've gotten one Dice Tower award. Well, I say that, and we actually missed for Flamecraft, but I got one for Dwellings. I am trying to get the components to blow people away every time. That's my secret goal. Gameplay, yes. Art, yes. Components, also yes. 100%. I know I'm a little bit behind, though, because I will say that every time I open an Elf Creek game and they've got like magnets or fuzzy meeples, I go, wow, I have to try harder now. But, I'm keeping an eye on all the different things that are happening in board games so we can always stay on top of it. We don't have squishy fruit or anything yet, but, we're working on stuff. We'll get there. Anyway, I've probably gone long enough on random topics. Oh, yeah, LD points out Mission Catastrophe. I have to say, Game Trace did an amazing job on Mission Catastrophe. Flamecraft, they didn't. They got a lid that doesn't snap, and they did that on purpose because of the mat. There was this whole thing. I've been over that topic before, but in Mission Catastrophe, of course, we have the traditional game tray snap, and everything is really great. You tilt that thing sideways, nothing comes out of there. No squishy fruit? What the? This guy flip the table right now. Why do we not have squishy fruit? Seriously. I know. There was a fun. I will tell you guys a fun story because we're steep in the stream. I don't know if that was gonna. There was a game that that has come out now. I'm really glad that Inside Up published this game. What's the name of it? It's a Subway game. No, I can't remember now. It was originally on Kickstarter. Anyway, it's this great game that we almost signed, and I was debating. We were debating if we could do something with it that would have blown it away on Kickstarter. And the only thing I could think of is there's little traffic cones. I was like, "Ooh, we can make squishy traffic cones," but I'm sure that game doesn't need that. Terminus is the name of that game. Terminus is amazing, and I cannot wait to get my copy of that game. It's so good. It just was a little. It just wasn't. I couldn't think of enough ways to take Terminus and turn it into all the. I do better with fantasy creatures apparently, but I love that game, and so I was thinking it needs like squishy. I think they went all wooden tokens, which is totally fine, and I think that's great. But we need to step up our game always so that we can be on these videos and people could be in Facebook groups saying, I think the components in this game are amazing. I appreciate that. We'll work on it. Andromeda's Edge. I will tell you that this is a... Oh, Septima. I have not seen the inside of that one. I got to go check it out now. I will say that I just looked at pictures on my phone because I was trying to find something for somebody. I kid you not. I was scrolling through pictures on my phone, and I saw a picture of Andromeda's Edge pieces that I took a while back of the Ancient Brain, and I go, that is so cool. And I'm like, that's our game. It's 100% our game. I'm so excited that is what we're making. I can't wait for those miniatures. But we also have, let's see, just received my copy of Raising Robots and soon to receive Last Light. Always great when all your Kickstarters drop at the same time. Even better in time for Christmas. Now we're talking. Andromeda's Edge, my heart's racing. Exactly. I was at BGG Con, and they had Last Light on the table, and Last Light got the most checkouts of any game, which is awesome. Congrats to Roy and everyone at Grey Fox. That game looks amazing, and of course, seeing the planets. And I was thinking, of course, of our own sci-fi game, wondering if Andromeda's Edge will be on the tables, blowing people away in the same way, because I don't know when its actual release will come out, and hopefully at BGG it'll still be hot stuff. But I hope we can see. That's going to be a really fun time to see Andromeda's Edge at the tables. So, well, I better get going so I can keep working on Andromeda's Edge and keep writing letters to everybody that's written into Cardboard Alchemy, because that's what we got to do. I appreciate all of your time. Join us next week for the readathon, where we're going to read letters that have been written into Cardboard Alchemy. I'm so excited by that because it's been really touching to get all those pieces of mail, and so we're going to read some of the fun, silly, quirky, random, different letters, the touching ones, and also the bizarre ones. That's going to be fun. And cheers. Thanks for keeping the cohesion. You're most welcome. Everyone on our team is excited. Hope to find one. Yeah, we can't wait to find. I'll be showing the snacks in that box next week. Thank you, everybody. Cheers. Happy Friday. Happy gaming. Game on. Talk to you next week.